Hey everybody, this is Peyton with Decipad, the new interactive notebook for building models and communicating with numbers, and I am so excited to share with you all this introductory tutorial so you can get started telling stories with data. What we're looking at here together is a completed notebook in Decipad, and as I scroll through, you're going to notice it looks very different from a traditional spreadsheet. A couple of things I'd like to call out while I'm scrolling through the notebook is that in Decipad, numbers, text, and data coexist, and I also want to highlight that Decipad was made to be modular. So you can build models that are more flexible and less error prone. As you can see here, as I adjust these sliders, the notebook updates and those changes are highlighted in yellow. We're building Decipad to give people the power to build something like an app, but with the collaboration and customization of a document. So I'm going to jump over to my workspace and I will see you all there with the help of some editing magic. So I'll be right back. All right, so now we are in our blank notebook, and the first thing we want to do is give this a title. So we'll call it Saving for a Motorcycle. And we want to know how long do I need to save for. To start building a model in Decipad, you are going to set up and connect to different blocks. And there are 4 different types of blocks. You access those with the / command. So we have our data blocks, our number inputs, our formulas, visualizations, we have different charts, widgets, which are interactive elements, and you have your different text. So let's start with a heading, and we're going to call this section inputs. And now we're going to use an input widget, which are a fundamental building block of Decipad. They're similar to cells in a spreadsheet, but they have a lot more versatility. They have 3 main elements. They have the name, so let's call this motorcycle cost. They have your number, and this is going to be 5,495, and an optional unit. So you can see here, this is currency. If I delete the $sign, Decipad auto detects what the unit is and changes accordingly. So if I put percent, changes to percent. You can also select from this drop down and see all the different units we support, multiple currencies, numbers, percentages, so on and so forth. For this, we're going to keep it with dollars. The next thing I want to do is create an input for my monthly income. So again, monthly income, let's call this $4,500 per month. Okay, incredible. The next thing I want to do is let's make a slider for my retirement savings, and we can play with different scenarios based on what percentage I'm going to save. So let's call this retirement savings. And let's set it at 5% and make the max 10. Okay, perfect. Again, you can see here that this input is made of those 3 main elements, the name, the number, and your optional unit. Now let's go on to determine my expenses. Let's do that with a table. We'll access that with the / command and select table. Give this a name, we'll call it monthly expenses. This first column is going to be the item, the second one is going to be the cost, and we can go ahead and delete this third column. So for the first item, let's say rent is $1,400 per month. The next one is food, that will be $220 per month, and pet insurance for my darling Sally is $400 per year. Now to calculate the monthly cost of all my expenses, I'm going to select calculate at the bottom here and find the sum. And I want to pause and call out that Decipad has detected that even though I have 1 per year and 2 per month, it's converted my per year into per month for me, so I don't have to do any extra work, and that's based on what you have in the first row. So if I change this, my rent to $1,400 per year, which I wish was true, it will give me the calculation per year. But let's go back to per month. So now that we have figured out my monthly expenses, how much the motorcycle costs, and my monthly income, let's determine how much money I have left after all these different expenses. We're going to do that with an input, and let's call this my funds, my Moto funds, which is going to be my monthly income. And I can select that either by typing. I started typing monthly. It is auto-populated in this variable section. Let's select that minus my retirement savings. So let's drag and drop this from my sidebar here. I could have also typed that, but there's a number of ways to model in Decipad. And then minus my monthly expenses. And I'm going to drag and drop that as well, so I don't have to type out that long syntax of sum, parentheses, monthly expenses, dot cost. So now we know how much money I have per month. The last thing to do is figure out my time to purchase. And we're going to use another input for that to create a formula, and let's call this months, which is going to be my funds. So let's start Moto funds, select that from the dropdown, divided by my motorcycle cost. Nope, it's motorcycle cost divided by my motorcycle funds. Motorcycle cost divided by my motorcycle funds. So it looks like I have to save for 2.1 months. Let's go back up here and say, now that I have an answer to my question, I can say it looks like I need to save for, drag that from the sidebar so I don't have to scroll down, for 2.1 months. And as I update how much I want to save per month, the model updates as well. You can see it's briefly highlighted in yellow. So if I'm saving 10% per month of my income, I'm going to have to save for a little longer. And if I'm not saving anything, I can afford my motorcycle in a little bit less time. The last thing I can do is I can actually make this model more interactive by turning these number inputs into input widgets. So let's go ahead and do that now. We have motorcycle cost an input widget and the monthly income as an input widget. This makes the notebook more interactive for the reader. So maybe they got a raise and their income is $5,000 per month. Also, congrats, that's incredibly exciting. Or maybe they're saving a little bit less per month. You can see as I update these numbers, the notebook updates automatically as well. The last thing I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to add another input widget and put it next to my retirement savings. And let's name this item. And now this notebook serves perfectly as a template that you can use if you're saving for a big purchase. So instead of saving for a motorcycle, it's going to be saving for a big purchase. And we'll name this item cost. And it looks like I need to save for 2.29 months to afford my motorcycle. But whatever you're saving for, you can put it in the item section. You can update these different widgets. And this notebook now lives in our templates gallery. So you can access that by clicking on the help button down here and going to our docs and examples. And if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, feedback while you're modeling, you can always contact me, Peyton, by email. That's peyton@decipad.com. I'll write it right here for you. Or you can always contact me via the chat, live chat. We love to hear from you. I'd love to know what you're saving for. Feel free to use this template to map out how long you need to save for, add things to the table depending on your different expenses. And I'm really looking forward to hearing from you and seeing what you build in Decipad. Thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.